Today we will be learning about fractions. What is a fraction?
I don't know.
A fraction is an equal part of a whole object. Here is the whole square. There are everyday objects which are whole. For example, we can have a whole chocolate bar. Here are some more examples of whole objects. We have a pear, a pineapple, a banana, and a tomato. Can anyone give me an example of a whole object that is not on the screen?
A pizza.
A pie.
Those are excellent examples. Can anyone tell me what a half fraction would be?
A half fraction would be like when you cut a pizza into 2 parts.
Great job, but when describing half fractions, make sure to say that the parts are equal. You see, when an object is evenly divided into 2, each part is called a half. 2 parts make the whole object. A half plus a half will give you a whole. If I have a half an apple and another half apple, what would that give me?
A whole apple.
Here's some more examples of half fractions. We have half an apple, half a kiwi, half a pear, and half a peach. Can anyone give me an example?
A banana.
Can anyone tell me what a quarter fraction would be?
I don't know.
Me either.
You see, when an object is evenly divided into 4, it becomes a quarter. If you have 4 quarters, it gives you 1 whole. Here is an example of 1/4 fraction. There's 1 blue square to all 4 squares that give you 1/4 of the whole square. Can anyone give me an example of a 4th fraction?
Oh, I know. Would it be like when my dad gives me 4 quarters for $1 so I can play in the arcade?
That's an excellent example. That is a great way to show the 1/4 fraction. If you have 4 quarters, each quarter represents 1/4 of the dollar. Do you see how learning fractions can be useful in your everyday life? Now for some questions. Will everyone look at the board? What fraction of the square is blue?
1 square is colored blue.
That's correct. Only 1 square is colored blue. But how would we say that in a way that represents fraction form?
That would be 1/4.
That is correct. 1/4 of the square is blue. Saying 1 square is blue represents the same thing as 1/4, but in fraction form you would say 1/4. Now, what fraction of the rectangle is red?
Half of it. Just like the slide you showed me when you used the apples.
Great job. Way to remember the apple example from the earlier slide. Only half the rectangle is red. Now, what fraction of the circle is red?
3/4.
3/4.
That's correct. We're looking for the red and only only 1 triangle is blue. What fraction of this circle is blue?
2/8.
6/8.
6/8 is correct. We're looking for the blue, and so only 2 triangles are red and the rest are blue. Now, how much of the triangle is colored orange?
1/2.
Great job. How much of this triangle is colored orange?
It's a whole because the whole triangle is orange.
Excellent job. Now for some fun pictures. What fraction of the snowman have green hats? Let's count all the snowmen together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the snowman with the green hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 10 snowmen and 5 of them are wearing green hats. What fraction would that be?
1/2.
Can you explain why?
Because 5 is half of 10?
Exactly, great job. Now one more question. What fraction of these birds are parrots? Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now to count the parrots. 1, 2, 3,
4.
4. What fraction would that be?
4/11.
4/11.
That's correct. Great job finding the fraction. Y'all did so great on these questions. That covers our math lesson for today. Tomorrow we will be working on worksheets by ourselves to see what we have learned. Now to do some review before we go to lunch. Can anyone tell me what a fraction is?
A fraction is when you take equal parts from a whole.
Exactly. Great job using the word equal. Remember, if a whole is divided, it is not a correct fraction unless all the parts are equal. Let's look at the board so we can review some key points. Remember, a fraction is an equal part of one whole. We can split shapes, objects, and numbers into fractions and rewrite fractions. 1/2 would be half, 2/5 would be 2/5. Now let's play a game before we go to lunch. Do I have any volunteers? Okay. Okay, can you come up? Okay, so the first one would be 3/8 of the pizza. How would you represent that using the pieces of the pizza?
You move 3 slices into the plate.
Good job. Now, how would you do 5/8?
I move the rest to the other plate.
Now let's submit that to see if it's correct. Good job. Do I have another volunteer? Please come up. We have 3/4 fraction on the first plate. How would you represent that in pizza?
I put 3 of the pieces on the plate.
1, 2, 3. Now, how would you represent 1/4?
If I put the last piece on there.
Now, submit it to see if that's correct. Great job. Now let's do the last one together. If it says 1/2, how many pieces would I put on there?
1/2 of the pizza.
1 piece.
And if I have half on the other one?
The other half.
Great job, guys. Okay. Remember, a fraction is equal part of one whole. Can anyone give me an example of how we use fractions in everyday life?
Like when I cut a piece of pizza and give it to a friend.
Can anyone else give me an example?
When I use quarters to play in the arcade,
How would that be an example?
I take $1 and get change for 4 quarters.
Great job. Y'all are so smart. You did a great job today. Here's a fraction strip page for you to take home and review. Bring it back tomorrow so that you can use it to help on your worksheets. Give yourself a pat on the back. This is the end of our math lesson today. Put up your fraction strip page and get ready to